Alright, right now we're getting into the trickier part of it, which is drilling the holes through the fingerboard and making room for the resistors. Now I've changed my mind a little bit. Originally I thought I would run the resistors down this groove where the truss rod is, but I've decided against that, and instead what I'm going to do is cut a groove, just a little one right along this, if you can see it, the line I've drawn there, and that line corresponds with the line I've drawn here. Now I'm not going to try and cut a groove through this because it's just too thin, and maybe you can see how it's already kind of warping up a little bit because there's no frets in it to hold it into place. So I'm going to drill right down through where the frets should be, and just to make sure I'm going to be cutting that groove in the right place, I'm going to put this back on here, and I'm going to tape it down to the neck so the drill drills through, and you can see the spot on the neck. Yeah, it's taped there. I've got it lined up about as good as I can. I want to be fairly exact science there. Okay, so then fingerboard is back in the space, back in place on the neck, about as it could be. Now, one thing I've been wondering about is what sort of resistor I'm going to put here, because the connection's going to be constantly at that position E. So I haven't quite figured that out yet. I play a lot of stuff with an open E, but that's going to drone on the synthesizer, which might be okay. But anyway, so let's get to drilling. And this is the smallest drill bit I can find. It's I don't know what size it is, but this is the resistor, and the wires need to go through there. I really wish I had a drill press. I really wish I knew how deep I want to go. Let me go about that deep. So what I'm going to do is wrap a little piece of tape around here at just the depth I want to be. And that is just about the width of a piece of tape. So this is sort of a cheap little depth gauge. If I had a drill press, it wouldn't be that big of a deal. But that's what DIY is all about. Alright, it's not exactly an exact science, but there we go. I got a hole drilled in each fret. And we'll take the tape off. And so we can see that if you can see there, I pretty much got all those drilled right along that line. Now I'm just going to make I should use a router, but I'm not going to because I don't have one that works any better. So I'm going to use my circular saw to cut a groove all the way down there, and it just needs to be as deep and wide enough for the resistor. Now I'm using the 100 ohm resistors, but these are 5% resistors, and I should be using 1%, but you know what, this is the prototype, so I'm not going to worry that much about that now, unless this thing ends up working really great, and then I'm going to kick myself wishing I'd used the 1%. But anyway, so the plan is stick the wire up through there, it comes up through the fret slot, makes contact with the fret. I might need to do a little bit of filing on the frets, because basically 2 wires need to come up through there, but for now that's fine. And I'm going to go cut my slot, and hopefully I won't fuck it up too bad. Alright, to follow up, I went ahead and cut the groove in here. I don't know if you can see that very well, but there's the groove that I have cut, and it also matches up with the holes I drilled in the fretboard. And what's going to happen here, I'll mute this stupid thing, is I got the resistor here, and the resistor can now lay just perfectly in that little slot, and then this will go on top with the resistor wires popping out in between those and the frets going through there, so I have my resistor chain going through all of those. And so I think that'll be my next step, that, and also putting this part of the truss rod back in there. And I think I figured out the correct way that it goes in there, at least I hope. And yeah, and then we'll take it from there. And so yeah.